Hey everyone, Dan here from Your Guitar Academy, and I'm here again with the guys from Guitar Control to bring you a lesson about Jimi Hendrix, the man, the legend. And before we dive in, here's what we're going to play. Okay, so this is an excerpt from one of the tracks that we learned in the Jimi Hendrix player study. And do remember that if you are interested in that, then please head on over to the links below where you'll find the full bundle of Guitar Legends goodness. It's worth checking out, trust me. But this is part of the player study for Jimi Hendrix. And what I really wanted to establish here with this little mini lesson is three parts of Hendrix's playing that you need to work on. So one is that kind of low-end riffing using the pentatonic scale. The other is this Hendrix chord and how to just jam on that. And the third is this kind of lead work. So, you know, Hendrix is as a master of, I mean, everything, basically. But these are a couple of things that I really think are important. And anytime you hear anything by Hendrix and the Experience, even kind of Band of Gypsies, it's all kind of heavily based around pentatonic riffing and ideas like that. And kind of sprinkled on top of all of that is crazy cool pentatonic solos, right? So we're gonna kind of go through this idea, and I wanted to just play it for you again, just really clean, okay? So just really clean. Like this. Okay, so that's all it is. Seems simple, but my God, there's a lot of jumping around, right? We're here, and then we're here, and then we're here, and this is it. If you were going to be playing like Jimi Hendrix, we need to be able to go from down here to here. We need to be able to jump to and from massive places on the guitar neck, all right? So let me kind of walk you through this first part. So we're based around the key of kind of E blues. It's kind of an E dominant 7 vibe, right? And we're using the pentatonic box 1 in the low strings, so the open strings like this. So we're very much using that pentatonic box for the riff, okay, which goes like this. And let me stop there for a second, okay? So we're just simply working our way down that scale shape. We start with the open E string, then we're gonna go down through the scale box, pull off, and then finish on that E note on the D string. So we get 1, 2, 3, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and one more time. 1, 2, 3. And if I do it really slow. Okay, so really just simple use of that E pentatonic shape in the open strings. Now, very quickly from there, we jump up to this E7 sharp 9 chord, okay? So if you're really not sure what that is, the E7 sharp 9 is the Hendrix chord, okay? It's just kind of called the Hendrix chord because he uses it loads. It's just very much got that kind of psychedelic vibe to it because it's obviously blues. It's all deeply rooted in blues music, so it's a dominant kind of vibe. So that dominant chord is there. So root, third, flat 7. That dominant chord is there, but this sharp 9 adds this kind of slightly altered sound to the mix, and that in itself creates quite an unsettled sound and therefore a psychedelic sound. I'm going to go with that as a link. But fundamentally, it really became iconic with his songs. You know, you can think of just so many. I mean, it literally goes without saying that in most of his songs, you're going to find that chord knocking around somewhere, right? So yeah, so that's why we need to learn it. And it's actually a really simple chord to learn once you've got your fingers around it the first time. So like I said, it's a dominant 7. So you can just pop your fingers. So we got second finger, first finger, and third finger playing the root, the third, and the flat 7. And then we got this sharp 9. So this on the 8th fret of the B string. You then have the option for the open E, either side, but I'm just going to block those off for now. And there's our chord. So we've got to go from this to that. Okay, So it's a big jump, so you really got to get your head around that change. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3. I'll do it again. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. You can give it some vibrato if you feel inclined to. Anyway, so there's our chord, right? So there's our opening bit. We've done the initial jump, and then we've got a whole bar to play with, big old bar to play with, where we're going to throw in a really cool little lead line. So again, you've got to jump into this. You've got to commit 100%. But the lead line is this. Okay, nice and clean, of course. So we're just up in that pentatonic box 1, but now in the kind of typical position we'd play this box, which is on the 12th fret. So it's just that box 1 again. Hendrix loves box 1. All this sounds like Hendrix, right? It's all just box 1. So what I'm doing here is I'm deliberately trying to get an aggressive tone. So let's deal with the notes first, then we'll talk about the aggressive tone. But it goes. So this will always create you an aggressive tone because we're dealing with kind of microtones. So here I'm going to be bending up the flat 7, essentially bending up to the root, but also referencing the root at the same time. So what you're hearing is this kind of where it eventually joins everything in between that. So this kind of dissonant, 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 and then joining together, okay? That creates that aggressive sound. So I do that like that. Then I'm going to come back down to just a simple pentatonic throwaway lick. You might say, well, I'm going to go up and down on the G string, hit the root note, and then get some really wide vibrato on that minor third. Really go for that vibrato. Okay, so it does take a bit of jumping. I'm going to do that like really slowly for you, okay? Now, the other thing to bear in mind with that lick is it comes in off the first beat. So it's like 1 and, 1E and, 1E and. Slow it down. So imagine there's a low E string. Okay, so let's try that all together, shall we? And I will put the old fuzz on. Oh my God, let's turn the volume down on that. So, ready? Slower. What a cool sound. So what this teaches us, where this kind of leaves us, is with this lick, this idea where we're working on our rhythm, we're working on our chords, and we're working on our lead all in one go. And that defines Hendrix. He's a one-man super band, okay? So what I find super interesting with this is where we can then take that. So in the full player study, we then go ahead and look at how this develops, how we can then move that across the fretboard, more licks, more ideas. And of course, beyond that, looking at everything else Jimi Hendrix. So I really hope that you enjoyed that, guys. Remember, please do download the worksheet as well so you can get the tab just if you're unsure. And then you'll be able to go ahead and also check out via the links below our player study bundle, which includes this Jimi Hendrix player study, which is now on offer through Guitar Control.